All right, what's good? What's good, man? Let's get into it. I want to talk about Dez Bryant. This is a throwback Thursday. You know what I'm saying? People, forgot about Dez Bryant, justifiably so. Uh, let's talk about Dez Bryant and why he was overrated in his quote prime. And once again, I don't know if I said this. I think I said this earlier in one of my earlier videos this week, but I'm gonna say it here right now, and I'll probably make a video about this separately as well too, because I really don't want to get into it. There's a difference. There's a difference between wide receivers and pure wide receivers. And I want to make that differentiation right now. I want to really make that differentiation, that difference right now. Number one, wide receivers can range from guys who are technicians. Technician is someone who's a great route runner. Slot receivers, specifically slot receivers, guys who can't play the outside. And then there's pure wide receivers, guys who can play the X, the Y, and the Z. And this is where Dez Bryant falls in, where I remember back when I was in middle school, beginning of high school, where people were trying to say Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, what's his name, AJ Green, all these guys, right? All these guys were better. Dez Bryant was in their league, and I'm like, I'm sorry, he's not in their league. Dez Bryant was nowhere near Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Calvin Johnson, Odell Beckham, AJ Green's league. Hell, even young Mike Evans and even young Mike Evans. No, he's not better than them. And people always ask me why. People always thought, and to this day I say that. Why do you think that's? Because Dez Bryant was just a freak of nature. And people think this is like an insult when I say this to Randy Moss, but I say all Dez Bryant is a Down syndrome, or he's a lowercase version of Randy Moss. And that's exactly what he is, where he plays the X and all he does is run streaks and fly routes and jump over people. Which, that's, he was athletic. I'm not knocking Dez for that. He's athletic. But at the same time, when it comes to Antonio Brown can play the X, the Y, the Z. He can play the slot. He can route run any route. Same thing with Julio Jones to a lesser degree, even though he was kind of an athletic freak. But Julio can, he can run some routes. Calvin Johnson can run routes. He can play the X, the Y, the Z, even though he didn't play the Z that much because he's 6'5". So why would you have a 6'5" slot guy? But he could. Odell Beckham, even though, his athleticism was kind of. Odell was a good route runner, but I think, his route running wasn't as good as people thought. He was decent. Even Stephon Diggs with the Vikings, I would take over Dez Bryant because he's good at route running. He was able. Stephon Diggs, before he got washed, could play the X, Y, Z, could play all that. Dez Bryant couldn't do that. That's not his forte, and we got to start saying that about Dez. Like, he had a a good 3 to 4 year stretch where he was okay. You feel me? He was okay, but people like Cowboy fans overhype him like he was the next coming of Jerry Rice, and it's like, chill out, bro. Like, chill out, bro. Dez Bryant was not even all that. He didn't catch that ball against what's the name? The Packers. Is what is there. Even though the NFL's came out and said, oh, well, he did catch it, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, bro, listen. Like, nah, man. Dez Bryant wasn't all that. I'm sorry. The simple fact that people are arguing him and what's the name? Julio Jones back in the day, it's utterly stupid. And I hope those people who used to argue Julio and Dez Bryant back in the day, you look stupid. Because Dez Bryant's not on that level. There's a reason why. Listen, I said this, right? Why is it Larry Fitzgerald, who came in the league in 2000 and I think Larry Fitzgerald came in the league in 2004, right? 2004, and retired. And TRL or Awesome Kid, if you're watching this video, please correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Larry retired 2022, somewhere around there. I could be wrong about that. I don't remember off the top of my head. But why is it that Larry Fitzgerald retired at 2000. He came in 2004 and then retired in 2002. Dez Bryant came to the league in 2010 and was out of the league in 2021. That last year with the Ravens, CEO, correct me if I'm wrong about that, but somewhere around that time period is because Larry Fitzgerald was a pure wide receiver, one of the best pure wide receivers. The dude can play the Z, the X, and the Y. Dez Bryant couldn't do that. That's why he didn't last long in the league either. And that's the reason why he was out of the league for a few years until the Ravens picked him up. Because the Cowboys cut him in like 2018 or 17, somewhere around there. He was out of the league until like 2021 when the Ravens picked him up. Because the Ravens they have a fetish of getting washed up wide receivers and players. So Dez Bryant was vastly overrated. And there's a reason why his quote-unquote problem was like for like 4 seasons. And, you know, it is what it is. But that's my thoughts. What are yours? Throwback Thursday. Kind of a different version of Throwback Thursday. RJ out.